Hey everybody.
Hi everyone. Welcome back to Brambleberry Cottage. We are here this week to do a new episode, gardening again. We're trying to squeeze in as much as we can of the gardening and the outdoors. We've had days and days and days of rain, and it is miserable and depressing. And you just can't do a lot. I've been itching to go outside in the garden, and today we have sunlight. Yay.
A little bit, on and off, but it's enough.
But you know, it's not rain. It's blue skies out there. It's incredible. So we have windows open. We're letting that breeze in. It's very exciting.
It's great.
So what we're doing this week.
Well, I'm going to build with Jake's help, I think, I'm going to build a raised bed for our garden with some materials we have on hand. We have some vinyl fascia boards that were passed down to us. We're planning on cutting them up. I'm hoping to make something that won't rot. It'll be a nice raised bed garden.
Yes. So we had, my mother had a porch, and we received the whole porch because she had redone her back porch, and there was all these different elements, and we were going to keep it and maybe make something out of it, and then we didn't. It was sitting there for a while against the house making a disaster, and we offered it to our daughter that because she was always hoping she could build a greenhouse, and then she didn't end up using it. So we had taken back the fascia boards, so we're going to utilize that because it's a free material. We always utilize that free material. I imagine we're going to inherit the rest of it soon. But we'll think of something for it.
Sure will.
Anyway, we have that, and if we have some other material, we want to raise it up on stilts because we have some issues with some critters. We've had issues in the past with our gardening, so for two reasons we're doing this. One, we've had an issue with our soil for a while. We've tried for years to amend it, according to my daughter who's in this field. So she knows a lot about gardening and environmental whatnots, permaculture. She knows all kinds of things. She has a degree in it, environmental science. And she's the one to go to ask these questions. So for years she told us to amend that soil and also keep certain vegetables off it. We had a squash issue, some kind of infestation that just took over and destroyed. Every time we tried to put squash down of any kind, it would come back and destroy it. So we tried it in different spots, did okay, but it was like we had to stay away from it for a while. So this year, after a few years away, we decided to try it again. It turned out beautifully, but we know it may happen again. So we want to have new soil up off the ground, away from all the beds, but also and start fresh. But also raising it up because we have an issue with woodchucks and rabbits and
moles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moles, all kinds of
stuff. So I think this will solve some of our problems, anyways.
Yeah. So while we have the free material, we'll see how it is. If it's something we like a lot, that in a few years we'll probably do them again. If it's, gee, this is working out great. And it's keeping all the pests and whatnot away, the soil's great, then we can, again, rebuild it with an actual kit or with, pressure-treated wood, whatever need be. So we're going to give that a shot. Paul, if you haven't been watching, he's had a surgery a couple months ago, and he's having a really hard time healing on his foot. So he can't stand on his feet for long periods of time, and there's just certain things he can't do, putting pressure on the foot and whatnot. So because of that, we're going to try our hand at you sitting down and doing some work.
I've been getting better at that. I think at sitting and doing some work. So
yeah, a little hit here and there, and he's itching.
Yeah, I am itching to get some work, accomplish something. But with Gina and Jacob have been really helping me out with cutting and doing all kinds of projects, start to finish, where I'm just on the sidelines.
He's not just sitting there, folks. He's absolutely, whatever it may be, where he's just helping us, teaching us things. He's being an instructor, but he's even sitting down, he's doing certain things. But also he's able to say, okay, no, you got to do this here, and you got to do, and that's been great. We're not annoyed by it or anything. It's not like, oh, he's telling us what to do. We're actually learning some really essential skills that we wouldn't have done if we weren't laid up. So that worked out. So there's that, and then we're going to tackle a couple of crafts.
Right, Halloween stuff, right?
Yeah, autumn. Well, no, Halloween, I guess.
Yeah.
So more autumny is a wreath. I'm going to try to do it. We have frames, and we have a wonderful resource of the forest behind us
Right.
on our property. So we want to be able to gather some sticks, some pine cones, we have a form, we have ties, we have hot glue. I'm gonna try to make a wreath with mostly free resources. And then if I can't find on hand that we have some faux leaves and what, maybe mini pumpkins that we could put on it, we have a Dollar Tree not too far away, I can pick up for
Right.
very cheap. I can make a really cheap wreath. For a Halloween craft, I have finally found, if you remember a couple weeks ago I mentioned those plastic trick-or-treat pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns, and we found them for $1.98 each at Walmart. They had a huge bin of it, and it was like an answer to my hopes and dreams. I was so excited. So I had gotten 3 of those pails. I'm gonna try to weight them down, spray paint them, and try to do something cool with that. So for, you know, under $10, for me it's $6 because I have white spray paint, I have certain materials, and I'm gonna try to come up with something cool for that, for our front patio.
Sure,
So,
it's gonna look great.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. You know, if you've watched previous episodes, you know I am not a Martha Stewart. I am not inclined to do crafts. So,
You're very creative.
the ideas are here, folks, and I know what it looks like in my mind. It's kind of like one of those nailed it shows. I do it and I go, oh my God, it just, no, it just doesn't work out. So, I'm gonna give it a good, honest try. So we have 2 crafts, and we have the garden bed for the garden, and that's gonna be it this episode. We're really excited.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
good.
let's enjoy this gorgeous day. We finally have no rain. So we're going to enjoy this beautiful, beautiful weather that we're having today and get outdoors and do some fun stuff.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show. set that one up as it maybe maybe angle that against the chair. Yeah, and then I carry that thing over to it. Now it's going to go on the field, not the top. It's going to go over this.
Oh.
The legs, so you can hold it. So this is going to be legs in the side. So, now we're going to hold itself and you can screw these in here.
So,
Fantastic.
it probably needs a second coat, but
From here it looks brand new. I can't tell if it's up, but well done.
thank you. So now's the time to do our pumpkin project. So we have these for $1.98 from Walmart. So excited I finally found them. So what I'm going to do is spray paint all of these white, and then I'm going to drill maybe 1 to 3 holes in the bottoms of each one so the water can get through, because we don't have a lid for these. I don't want to make a top for these because I might actually make it into a planter someday. Not sure what I'm going to do right now, but I know that I want to spray paint these white. I'm going to take these little price tags off if I can. I'm not going to be very particular about it because it's going to be at the bottom and no one's really going to see it. But I just want to get some of it off if I can. And I'm using the Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch 2 times the extra cover, paint and primer. So we're going to use that so it'll really stick good to it. Stick well, stick good, listen to me. Shake it up really good in your pan. I'm going to do a couple of coats. I'm going to start with the bottoms and flip them over later once they dry. I'm also going to remove at least 1 handle, possibly 2, actually maybe 2 handles, and I'll leave 1 with the handle on. It should be easy to just pull off, but if you have a hard time you can snip it off with snippers. Just in case for the future, I'm going to just tuck one in. We may end up using a handle down the road. Let's go. When you're spray painting, make sure you're outside. And usually I would wear a mask. It's not a windy day, but most importantly, don't be downwind. So I did the first coat of the Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover paint and primer. It's just a white, and I did upside down. I did 1 coat. I'm going to let that dry for at least a half an hour, maybe up to an hour. It is a lovely day out, but if it was cooler out, I would have to maybe be inside somewhere, or I'd have to allow extra time. And you definitely don't want to go when there's moisture in the air. So that's step 1. And I'm going to come back and do a second coat, let it dry again. Then we're going to flip it over and try to get as much of the top and the inside as we can. I'll show you my next step after that. But first, let's get all these dried and all the coats on, and we'll take it from there. Paul had a good thought. There's no point in doing a second coat on the bottom because it's going to be covered, and it did do a good coverage the first time. So I'm going to do my first coat on the top and anything that didn't really cover well the first time around. So I don't care if some gets inside. I will be a little more careful about the inside with the handle because I may end up planting something at some point, but not sure what I'm doing yet. But the rest of it, I don't care if a little gets in there. Look how wicked cute these are. As you can see, the orange is still inside. I'm not going to really spray them. I'd originally thought maybe I would, at least on some of them. I'm not going to because it won't show. And I really wanted to do a good coverage everywhere else. I left the handle on one of them because I'm still not sure what I'm going to do, but I may end up taking it off. So there they are. Everything, including the black painted faces, I had even painted over that because I may turn it around, or I may for Halloween leave it out, but it kind of looks neat that it's just this little indentation of face in there. Anywho, we're gonna let this dry, and then when it is done, then I'm going to show you the next step. And just so you see, hubby, you don't usually see him in the background. Don't mind our vegetable garden in the back. Everything's been taken out for the season. But Paul is reading his book and hanging out with his foot up. This is what he's been doing. But he's been great company, and he's been helping out with advice here and there, and it's been nice to be near him during the day.
Beautiful day.
It is.
Sit down and watch somebody else do all this work.
He does do work. He's just sitting down a lot too because he's trying to heal, but he is doing stuff. But anyway, hi bub.
Hi.
Okay, so now I'm going to drill a hole. I'm going to drill at least one hole, I'm pretty sure just one, in the bottom of these jack-o'-lanterns. So we used a 1/4 inch drill bit. We're going to go right in the center. And I'm thinking I'm going to take this handle off. The more I thought about it, the more I realized I don't need a handle. So now we're going to stack these, just so you can see what it'll look like. Isn't that cute? Just these stackable pumpkins. Try to...
They kind of fit right into it, so I like that.
You do.
The bottom one, I think if you maneuver a little bit, it'll pop right in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're going to glue these together, and it's just going to be a little decor for the patio. Again, we put holes in the bottoms of these because obviously water is going to accumulate in the rain and the dew, and it's going to seep all the way down. We're not sure what we're going to do. I might do something clever in the top, but for now it's going to be empty. One thing we do have to do is make this heavy. So I will have to put some sort of stones or bricks or something at the bottom, just so it keeps it from falling all over the place. Okay, so let's work on that. Okay, so now we're going to put these brick chunks at the bottom. One in each thing. So what I'm going to do is start with the E6000. I'm just putting little dots of E6000. I'm not sure if it's just hardening up or what, but now I'm going to put some hot glue on the rest of it. And there you go, look how cute he is. So again, on the top, I may in the future put some sort of, I don't know, plant or something in there. But for now, I'm going to leave him alone. I might just put this piece of brick on this one too, just to make sure they all get weighted down and they stay with the glue. But I really like it. It's really kind of sweet. But we're going to figure out what to do with the top here. I'm not sure. I may put a piece of wood or something here. I may just simply put a plant there or just leave it alone. I'm not really sure. What do you guys think? Easy craft for $6. And if you don't already have the spray paint, it's up to another, I don't know, $6, $5, $6. So not too bad. Look how sweet this guy is. I think we're going to leave him alone with nothing in it. But there's holes in it and there's bricks weighing it down, so the water will go right through and it should be strong enough to hold. So I'm going to put a battery operated candle in here on the top so it'll glow and it'll look really cute. I think that's what I've decided to do. But look how cute he is. So I collected as many maple leaf branches and also a couple of oak leaf branches in there where they seem bendable. So I'm going to be able to hopefully bend them to a wreath shape. So I'm going to leave them here for our walk. And I'm going to try to collect some pine cones. Here we go. So we have this leftover metal wire. I was originally going to use a form. I decided to just tie these around each other, a few layers around. Sorry about the traffic, folks. I decided to use some wire that we have. I'm not really sure, remembering where it's from. I just know that we had some laying around that we've used on various garden projects. So basically I'm just wrapping it around as much as I can in spots. These leaves will dry out. They are not faux leaves. So I'm just giving a little authenticity to the branches. I'm not using the wreath form because it just, I don't know, I just kind of wanted it free form the more I thought about it. Just something you could work with that's in your forest nearby, or I'm very lucky to have forest around me on our property. Otherwise, if you do it somewhere else, make sure it's somewhere where you are allowed to do that or that you have permission to. Okay, so now we have our big pieces. We've reinforced in certain areas, and I'm going to bring these ends together. It's not going to be a perfect circle. That's okay, folks. Embrace it. Embrace the odd shape. Might be more oval, a little wonky, but you can always fix it, and if not, you may actually like the different shape. So I'm going to bring these two pieces together, and in the middle, in the strongest part of it, where it's really together, the two pieces come together, I'm really going to get in the middle of that and just reinforce it. Paul has informed me, because I forgot, it is 16 gauge steel wire we used in our raspberry bushes to kind of pull them together and reinforce them a little bit. So I couldn't remember what the wire was. So if you were looking for something similar, this is a very strong wire. So when things are trying to pull apart, it's a good wire to have. I'm going to reinforce some areas now. And remember, these leaves in a matter of a day or two are going to be brittle and dry. That could really add to the look of our wreath. And we're going to throw on some faux leaves and all kinds of things that are going to make it look really cute. So put it on an outdoor, shed door, maybe even not your main door, because you want it to be good for you when it's falling apart and becoming brittle. I just basically make a U shape underneath, and I come around and wrap it around on two different areas, and I try to tuck it in as best I can, and it should adhere to the wreath nice and tightly. Make sure to reinforce some of the weaker areas of the wreath just so they stay together stronger. We're just working on the main form here. I'm going to do one more wire, kind of tucking it down, pushing as hard as I can as I go, just so it stays stable and together. Guys, just so you know, in my crafts, I'm not totally a craft person, but I do enjoy certain crafts, and it's never going to be totally perfect. It wouldn't sell in a store probably, but what I love about these is this is how nature is. It's imperfect. It's imperfect in its form, and we may have some heavier areas, and that's what I love, how it's realistic. I'm not one who's going to be a perfectionist. I really like the imperfect forms. This is nature. This is how it is. So we're keeping with that. These will become, like I said, very brittle and dry, so we're going to try to do different things with them. Normally I would hot glue these, but I'm going to actually try to wire them on just because they're not going to stay. Everything's kind of damp, and it's such a thick, these are real branches, I just don't think they'll make it through. So I'm going to wire these. I believe also establish what your top is going to be. I'm kind of thinking might want to do the oval shape. So what I'm going to do is make this my top. So we're going to start with that first, because I'm not only going to put this pine cone on there and wrap it around with this wire, I'm also going to make a little loop here to hang it. Tuck that in, and then we have this little wire hanging. So what I'm going to do is kind of get a little loop in there and kind of tuck it under the wire I already did. Leave a little bit of that loop standing up. I'll show you closer in a moment. And then I'm going to just kind of bring it down a little bit with my hands. You can use pliers if you need to kind of push it down. And then we have this little loop that we can hang it with. It's nice and strong. So let's see. So we'll get a little bit more of that wire. Go around and hide some spots maybe that has a lot of the wire. These are usually temporary wreaths. Maybe you're having a little gathering for the, you want to make it the day before, maybe even that evening. You're having something that evening and you want to a little time in the day if you're prepared properly for your food and whatnot. You can make a little time, get up early and make a little craft, and it will last you a day or two. If you're looking for a free craft, you can always buy faux wreaths or make your own faux wreath many days before, but sometimes for a certain event. I had a pine cone there and he got lost in the fray here. He got lost in the wreath, but that's all right. If you have the resources, even if you have the money, sometimes it's just really nice to make something from nature. Especially if you're a crafty person and you just enjoy making crafts. I had grabbed some acorns and lost one of them, and then I realized I'll just leave them here on the table along with some pine cones, just because there's no way I'm going to really attach it. So we're going to put it on the door and see, kind of unfinished, just to see what it looks like. Kind of nice to do these hidden nooks of pine cones as well. I put it on the door because I want to see what it's going to look like, and it's obviously messy with some of the wire. We want that because we want it to be natural, but where the wire's showing, I'm going to put some ribbon. So as I was doing this, I realized the battery had died, so you missed the final touches. So what I did was I reinforced everything that needed to be. Because I'm not sure where it cut off, but I think you saw where I did the pine cones. So basically, where there was wire showing, I had some long stemmed leaves that had started to fall. So I had tucked some of those. If you don't have any that fell and are left over, you can even cut from some of the excess. I kind of like this odd shape and there's a little bushiness over here. I like that because it just gives it a little character and it just seems more authentic. And what I did, I didn't have enough of this burlap ribbon, so I normally would have maybe went around a little bit, but I decided just to tie it around and make a long drooping basic bow. Nothing fancy, because we want this to look like it occurred in nature, and we slapped a bow on it that was as realistic and natural material as possible. So there you go. It's something simple. It is completely free. I would like to maybe consider making with the faux leaves and maybe some stuff from Dollar Tree eventually, because that was my intention. But as we were taking a nature walk and I was finding the materials and putting it all together, I thought, instead of having bare sticks in a wreath form, why not make something natural? It could be temporary, but it is really cool for now. We're going to see how long it lasts. I'm loving it. It's free. Best price of all. Hope you enjoy it. You remember these little guys from Walmart the other day? These were just some leftovers that didn't make it to the wreath. We just put it on the table as a little arrangement. So there's our week. We got some stuff accomplished.
Yeah, we did. I think things came out pretty well. That raised bed that we put together, Jake put together, went really smoothly. Came out better than I thought, actually.
It did.
And you got it painted up, and it came out really well.
I think it turned out great, honestly, and it was with free material.
Yeah.
Again, Paul can't
My favorite.
help out a lot since his surgery, but he was there for guidance, and Jacob did a great job.
Really did.
He really essentially built that whole thing by himself.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I had painted it the next day, and then maybe a couple days after that, the heavens opened up and rain.
Yeah.
So again and again and again, we've had it from the summer and now into the fall. I'm absolutely looking forward to just a different type of weather.
Yeah.
Hopefully this
Dry
coming
weather.
spring will be more dry, yeah. Not that we want a drought, but we definitely want,
A break from the rain.
we really do.
Yeah.
It's been a little too much. We're even getting some warnings of floodings. It's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Luckily, how it worked out, it would have taken us a day or two to do the video, but a couple of days ago, I ended up a little under the weather. So because of that, it worked out because that's when the rains came.
Yeah,
So that was
yeah.
perfect.
It's timed well, I guess. If you're gonna be sick, might as well be while it's raining.
Yes, feeling much better now. It was just a couple days.
Thank
It was
goodness.
some sort of bug or something I had, but now feeling much better. And because of that, we had to squeeze in little elements of when I was feeling well, when the rain wasn't coming down, and we're able to do some other things. Working on the wreath was fun. I had to go up into the woods and grab some materials.
Wet materials.
Yeah. Yes, but that's okay. We
worked out.
it was cute, and it was it's there for our shed, which we wanted to be more natural. We wanted it to be as close to free as possible. We did have to buy a couple of elements from the Dollar Tree, but it all worked out. It was really nice. I do have a couple of craft projects in the works. To my level, what I can accomplish. I am not a crafter, as I've said many times before, but I do have fun with it. And
I
as
think
long
you
as
did
it's
great, yeah.
thanks. As long as it's easy, it'll be great. Also, what I almost forgot, what we worked on was I built the pumpkin, the 3-tiered
Right.
pumpkin.
That came out really nice. You say you're not a crafter, but that came out really cute.
That was simple, folks, and that's how it has to be with me. The more elaborate, the more steps involved. No, and if there's any freehand painting of any kind, forget it. So, not an artist in any way, in the way the artist as in a painter or someone who draws, but everyone's an artist in some way. And
Absolutely.
as long as you're creative, you
Yeah.
can be an artist. No self-negative talk here.
Right.
But anyway, so we did some fun projects. We got in a lot more than I expected, even with the weather, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
And it sure was. I
Yeah.
can't wait to actually use that garden bed in the springtime.
Yes, me too.
Put some lettuce in there, that kind of thing. So,
Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It was great. So that's it. That's what we have for this week.
So if you could subscribe if you're interested and give us a little thumbs up.
That would be great.
Yeah, maybe throw us a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, let us know where you're from, where you're watching us from. If you like this type of video or any videos of ours, please press the like button and, like Paul said, comment. Ask a question if you'd like. We'd really love to see you as part of our family, so please help support our channel and subscribe. It would mean a lot. We're very grateful.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Anyone new that's come in the past couple of weeks, we noticed there's a few other ones. We wanted to say welcome and thank you for watching.
Yeah. Thanks. Have a great week.
Bye, folks.